Hello everyone and welcome. We are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are once again in Kerbin-sized real solar systems. And for those people that are tuning into this particular series of streams for the first time, the idea is to sort of collect a whole group of mods, but have those mods sort of interchangeable, that people could decide they like this one or not like this one. And if you don't like something, drop it, or if you have another favorite mod, you can add that in. It's all very flexible with the ones that I have put in here, but I am working with real solar system, but it has been shrunk down to Kerbin sized. If you like, this is sort of like RP1 Lite for those people that know of my RP1 series that is also running at the same time. But anyway, let's sort of pick up where we kind of left off. Last stream, I had created and launched and installed the Octo 1. So I just want to show people the Octo 1 here. Got my into orbit. Oh boy, there is a lot of stuff. There's the Octo 1. Oh, I got an Octo 2 as well. Okay, I'm losing track of my own things of what I'm doing. So we got 2 satellites in orbit, and got a lot of science and installed a lot of things. But what I really want to kind of get done this time is set our targets a little higher for the moon, and not the mun, but the moon. And the moon is, even though this is a Kerbin scaled solar system, the moon's still about 3 times out from where it is in the stock game, and as well it is in an inclined orbit. And I've never done this before, so could be fun. And I think that the Octo 2 rocket that I built is capable of getting itself to the moon. So I think that's kind of where I'm going to go. I know I'll be doing other things, but it's going to be a lot of... I also want to collect a lot of science. I want to start looking at what science is available. I have no contracts, so I got to go in and take a look and see what contracts are available. And I also made a note to myself that I wanted to get into this little simulator. This is the KRASH simulator that I use all the time, and I want to make it free. I want it to cost nothing. So all I got to do is go through here and just change all of these costs to 0. And the reason I'm doing that is because also last week, I guess the multiplier doesn't matter if everything's a 0. I will accept that, and I'm just make sure that that is all zeros. Yep. And the reason I did that is because also last week I unlocked my first KOS, that's Kerbal Operating System Probe Core, which means I can start doing some programming with my rockets and start doing some automation, but that does require a lot of testing, and I don't want to be charged while I'm testing all that stuff. That's what those costs are. Okay, let's get into mission control. Let's take a look at what we got here. So right off the bat, I got Exploration Plus. Oh, well, I'll just tuck you out of the way here. And I got now here, start exploring the moon, and I'm pretty sure this is straight up, just do a flyby. Yep, so straight up, get into the moon's SOI, leave again. I think that's it. And I also think I got, under KSRSS, I think I also have Fly by the Moon. I thought there were 2. So lots of money, some science, launch a vessel, has to be uncrewed, and I guess just do a flyby. The objectives are a little weird, but I'm going to assume because it's called Fly by the Moon, yeah, we're just going to do a flyby of the moon. I'm going to sort of put K-planes on. I've been doing a lot of plane stuff recently. I'm going to put that on hold for a little bit. Kerbal Academy, I think, requires you to make an orbit first. It does. Comm Relays, put a relay around the moon. Not going to do that yet. Haven't even got there yet. Collect science data from space around the Earth. You always want to grab these low-lying fruit ones. Transmit and recover some scientific data from space around the Earth. We'll be in space around the Earth, so I'm going to grab that. And let's see. Won't do any manned orbits. Satellites. Let's take a look at some of these. Oh! Position the Octo 1 in an adjusted orbit. I got 2 of those. Interesting. They look almost the same. Am I just crazy, or are they the same? How can do I have this twice? Oh, they're not quite the same. The longitude of the ascending node, and I'm assuming the argument of the periapsis, yes, these two are a little different. All these parameters are the same. These are a little different. Okay, I think, and then there's position a satellite in a specific orbit about the moon. Let's actually get, this might be really, really low-lying fruit. So I think I might grab these. Let's just take a look. I just want to look. So 76 kilometers by about 2,000, 2,100 kilometers. Let's just take a look at what we got here. But if this is going to be an easy one to do, I love these. There's quite a lot of fuel in the Octo one still. I kind of overbuilt it. I didn't budget anything. I just kind of built something and fired it off. This, I think, is the Octo one. And I'm assuming these two are our orbits. Oh, come on. That can't cost. There's an inclination change that might cost us something. Let's take a look at the Octo. Just real quick. So there's how much of an inclination change? I should really look at that. This is, I would estimate that, I don't know, 15 degrees maybe? That is so pulled out of my derriere. But I'm wondering if I can do like a plane change down there for about 15 degrees. Because that looks like what's going to be the major cost of it. And I don't know how much DV it has either. So I should check that. Before I accept those, I don't want to accept them and then regret accepting them. So here, oh my gosh. Oh, it only has 64 meters per second left. Ah, shoot. This was the first thing I put in orbit. It's the Octo 2 that's a respectable rocket. Okay. All right, never mind. Never mind, back to the Space Center we go. If I get one of those for the Octo 2, I'm all over it. But for the Octo 1, no. Nope, nope, nope. Sorry, I was getting my satellites mixed up. Hello, is it Yit and Azertli and Kermi? And I'm sure I'm missing people. I'm sorry if I am. I do my best to read the chat, but my best is often not that very good. Okay, let's do one more take a looky here. So I think these guys, yeah, this is no good unless it doesn't have enough fuel for it. And ScanSat Official, there's something to think about. Starting some low resolution and multispectral scans. Oh, I think those are a good idea too. How many spots? Oh, I still got spots. So let's grab that and that, at least of the Earth. Do some ScanSat scanning and Tourism Plus. I'm pretty sure this says you got to get a tourist into orbit, which we haven't put a Kerbal into orbit. So there we go. Now we got a nice body of contracts. So in the building queue, I do have the Octo 2, which is identical to the rocket I launched at the end of last stream. So we're going to do some editing of this. I'm going to do some editing of it because I don't think this has much in the way of science on it. I want to collect science. So let's see if we can do that moon flyby. And then we'll also see if we can build something. So, yeah, because I don't think this has any science on it. It really doesn't. So I want to science this up. So the easiest thing to do, let's see what science we have. There's a science archive that comes with Kerbalism, and if you filter it for just what is on the current craft, you can take a look to see what you have and have not done. Oh wow, the telemetry report is biome specific. Well, that's interesting. I did not know that. Flying, oh, that's flying high, of course. I've done all the space stuff. I'm looking at space stuff. Temperature, of course, if it goes to the moon, that's going to be a whole new thing too. Okay, so it's done all the space stuff. So what we can do is if we get into, here's our probe body. And we got a configure science button. Configure unmanned experiments. So the well, if we're going to the moon, I'll keep the 2 hot thermometer on there. So that's cool. What other science do we have? We have a Geiger counter. Just going to stick it here for now, but now that gets added to our list. We've done a lot of Geiger countery stuff, but all around the Earth, not around the moon, so that'll be a worthwhile one to have. We have now a magnetometer boom. Let's stick you on here. And let's magnetometer report. They've done nothing with this. This is brand new science. But I do want to... It takes 7 days. And I can see here, space low. Oh, this has to do with the radiation belts as well. You know what? We might put that on there. It might not be around the moon for very long, but it certainly will probably try and exit the moon and still stay in orbit around Kerbin. I think that might be worthwhile. What other stuff do we have? The seismic accelerometer doesn't make sense. The thermometer I already have. I don't think the barometer works in space anymore with these mods with Kerbalism. Atmospheric pressure scan. Yeah, see, just surface, flying high, flying low, no space. So you are coming off. I got some better antennas. That's something to think about. I do have now the Science Junior and the Mystery Goo, but I don't think I'm going to be bringing this one back. We'll build a separate one to do that. I think that's good for now. I think that's everything I got. Yep, it is. So, I'm happy with that. Let's turn all of this to waiting. I'd like to minimize how much... Whoa, that expands it if I put it on waiting. Let's not do that. Can't launch it that way. Put that on waiting. Okay. And how heavy is that? That is 50 kilograms. And I'm sure that Geiger counter is only 5 kilograms. So I do have to think about placing things in such a way that... This is also pretty big. I don't know how much drag. Well, we'll see what happens. That's always the thing to do. You always go, oh, see what happens. I also think I should probably go to a bigger antenna. I'm thinking once I get in and around the moon, I probably want a larger antenna. So we'll do that. Like so. And we'll put you on an action group right away. Action group 0. Toggle the antenna. Okay. We also should be taking a look at electricity, because the one thing that does happen with Kerbalism in the experiments that you got to be careful with is they consume a lot of electricity. Right now the electricity says perpetual, but let's... Even when you're in the shadow, that makes no sense. I'm not producing Oh, but the engines might be... Is the engine counting somehow? The engines shouldn't count. I think it's counting that engine on the bottom. There, we'll just do that for now. Okay, so it'll run for an hour and 10 minutes. I think that should be fine. It's got solar power, or solar panels. It only consumes 0.055 units of electric charge per second, but it's producing, well, it won't produce that much. That might be a better estimate of what it produces, because not all those are going to be, but either way, plenty. Plenty. So we'll put that back. Make sure all that makes sense. I don't know. I'm thinking I might just send this fella on its way towards the moon. Yeah, why don't we do that? I think so. So, this is going to be, let's call this the Octo 3. I'm going to give it a little bit of a test. Well, maybe not. I couldn't have added, yeah, let's give it a little bit of a test. I'm a little worried about this. I don't know if there's drag associated with that or not. So, let's give it a test. So, we're going to run a simulation here. Actually, yeah, I know what I'll do. Save that. Save those edits. Get that building. I don't know if the KRASH simulator... I don't know. I don't know what would if I would have lost the ability to save the edits if I left the vehicle assembly building. So I'm playing it safe. Going back this way. I just want to test it. That's all I'm going to do. And then we'll get some other rockets going. Okay, so we shall simulate right down here. Simulator, start simulation. Sort of house rules with me is that I don't revert unless it's like a Kraken attack. Then I'll revert. You know, something very game buggy happened. All right. I like the sim cost 0. That is good. Okay, so SAS, put that on, and I just want to see if this flies okay, really. Like, is this a problem that big old thing's on there? Hopefully not. Knock this over a bit. I can see it wants to pull a little bit towards one way. Lock that onto prograde. Want to keep this at about a 90 degrees. I also got to figure out how to get to that inclined orbit with the moon. I've put a little bit of thought into it, but I'll be honest, not a lot. This is the Octo 3. We can take a look at it. All right. It seems to be flying more or less okay. Let's put this here. Start reducing throttle a bit. We'll do at least one KOS launch as well before this is done. Get that going again, but not with this one. Okay, this seems okay. I'm just going to throttle up. I'm going to get this up into space. This is a test, remember. And I want to make sure that this will fly okay, even with this thing on it. I don't see now why it won't. So I'm just pushing it up into space. That's got it. We'll time warp up there. Extend this. We're going to just, yeah, let's just stage. Doesn't seem locked on the prograde vector anymore. Is there a reason for that? There are reaction wheels in this. It's interesting. Okay, I'm just going to throttle up. It seems alright. It's a little bit wonky, I suppose. Look at the... Yeah, you see how it has to pitch over a bit just to keep everything balanced? That's because of this big thing. Okay, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it. Terminate the simulation. And I'm going to actually, I think I can yeah, let's add it to the plans and let's build. I think I got two of these building, but that's on purpose. So the first one's going to be going to the moon. The second one is going to be just for some sort of science-y orbit. Oh, I should also think about ScanSat stuff. But I want to get the moon one out of the way. Okay, so let's see here. Vehicle assembly building. It's going to take a little over 7 days, so let's just let's get that out of the way. Okay, we're going to build that Octo 3. Roll it out to the launch pad. And the other Octo 3 is now being built in the meantime, and we'll end up editing that one, but target here is the moon. Now I got to think about how I'm going to get there. that test was just about thinking about how to fly. I wasn't even thinking about how to get to the moon. All right, so let's take a look at contracts first. You can also open that up. We have Fly by the moon. Science data from space around Earth. Start exploring the moon. Those should be our 3 right there. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of put that there. Okay, and what I also should be doing is taking a look at, let's turn off as much of this noise as we can. So here's the moon. I'm gonna set it as a target. So you can see the moon is in an inclined orbit. Now, one thing interesting that happened last stream, and this was kind of by accident, but this satellite is actually very close. See that? This one? The Octo 1 here. Very close to being in the right plane for going to the moon. See, it's almost in the same plane as the moon. And that was just out of luck. I wasn't trying that. And I have to assume... I mean, all I did was go to the east, so I'm hoping, and I have no idea if this is true or not. Let's focus our view on Kerbin. Get this centered like that. That if I launch... Boy, we're pretty close right now. If I launch... No, let me think about this. If I launch due east... the probe, I'll be falling towards the center of the Earth because that's what gravity does. So it is going to incline me in this direction anyway, based on where I am right now. I think I might just try launching and see what happens. I think I might just go for it. Let's just go for it. See what happens. So we're just going to go east and see how close we come to the right inclination. So, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we're ready. Go. We're off. I'm thinking I'm actually launching a little bit late in my window. Looking at that, but I didn't want to time warp all the way around to the following day. So, I'm hoping I'm thinking in the right way. If I'm not, I'm not. It's all good. So being exactly on 90 is hardly critical because I'm eyeballing this anyway. But I'm hoping this will come pretty close to the right inclination for going to the moon, which is kind of nice. And again, this thing is very overbuilt. It should have a ton of delta V for doing this. So that's what's making me a little bit not worrying about it. But I think doing the math to actually work out what would be the right inclination to launch at to get yourself into the proper parking orbit for going to the moon, that all sounds like really complicated to me. Oh, I should reduce throttle. Getting to about a minute to apoapsis. Like to keep that right around a minute. Really usually a little less than a minute. There we go, and that'll save us some fuel. So what do people think? Are we gonna... Is this gonna work? Is this gonna put myself into the right inclined orbit? I have no idea. I'm gonna kind of let this ride up now. Still weird that I should have reaction wheels on this, right? Maybe I shouldn't look. Looking at too many things at the same time. I never did. I have unlocked external reaction wheels, but I thought there were some in that probe core. So I was a little bit concerned when it sort of wasn't turning for me until I put thrust on. We'll see. So right now I'm just kind of riding. Let's get ourselves even maybe a little closer to apoapsis, keeping that thrust low so the apoapsis doesn't get away on me, but really trying to put energy into that periapsis, and that will make that final insertion burn a lot cheaper. That's the general idea. of doing this. How's it looking here? I'm less confident now. I think I went too. I went too late. I should have time warped around. Oh well. Probably be fine anyway. If we have to do a mid-course correction, we got to do a mid-course correction. Let's add a little bit more throttle. Oh, we are in space now, so extend an antenna. We can also turn on that magnetometer. Oh, the temperature scan. All that stuff is not on. Jeepers creepers. Turn it all on. All on. Okay, apoapsis is getting a little high, so I'm going to stop. Everything else is not really doing anything as far as only the magnetometer is doing anything, but it is a long experiment. It takes 7 days to collect everything. But I have no intention on bringing this thing back to the surface, so it'll have all the time in the world to collect whatever data it wants. So the idea is going to be to do a flyby of the moon, but hopefully to come out of that flyby into an equatorial orbit that takes me in and out of Kerbin's various magnetic fields. That's kind of what my idea is with this. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm going to get ready to add a little throttle here. Take it off the lock to prograde. Try and keep that apoapsis from climbing too high. Keep it locked on prograde. Come on. That's good enough. Good enough. Okay, so we're in an orbit. It's parked away. I'm looking now at that. It's not. It's terrible. It's terrible, isn't it? We have a relative inclination of 22 degrees. Okay, so that was a fail. Oh, of course it was a fail. I don't think I was underneath the orbit. Whatever. We'll try and do better next time, but let's start by seeing if I can get myself a moon intercept. So the first thing is there's gonna have to be a correction unless I'm extraordinarily lucky. So we're gonna have to come out like this. And then we're also going to need some form of correction at about the halfway point. Bring that down. There's our moon encounter. So that seems to be doing all right. Let's bring this further along. Okay. Let's get to that first maneuver. I'm going to play with both of these maneuvers. So I got a maneuver here getting out there at about 908 meters per second. And then I got this second correction of about 83, 84 meters per second. Let's see if we can... Thinking maybe a little more on this guy. Oh, well, that's a little much. Holy jeepers. Come back. Okay. And let's look at that PE number. It's our moon periapsis. I'm going to try and make this burn as efficient as I can. I still got oh god, 2300 meters per second on the vehicle, so that's not going to be an issue. I think I gotta go to the second burn. I think that correction's going to be more than just a little significant. Oh, that's a hit. That is a hit. Okay, let's come back to the first burn. So what I want to do, you know what I think I might do? I think I might just burn this and just call it, and then we'll fix everything with the correction. I want to come out. Where's the moon? Focus view. I want to come around the retrograde side of the moon so I don't add a ton of energy to my orbit. I want to end up coming close to the moon, but not... Can I do... There, that's retrograde-ish. There we go. Okay, I think I'm just going to burn that, and then we'll fix our... So I'm going to delete this one. Just burn this one. So this burn's coming up in 10, 11 minutes. So I'm going to do a quick save. And let's turn down the throttle on this, because I think my TWR is probably through the roof. It is. Okay. All right, let's get to that. Yeah, I am pushing over as hard as I can, but I do not have... Oh, there's a little bit attitude control. I can see it. Oh, I got to watch my electricity. Be a little careful. Oh, the sun's coming up. And once I turn on this engine, that'll be some. Now, the burn will take a little longer than it says here because I did turn down the throttle limiter on that. So maybe I'll start 5 seconds early. I don't know. Something like that. Oh, dear! Stage. Okay. Bail on that. We're all right. Okay, so that engine exploded. Oh, I think I have limited ignitions on... whatever. It exploded is what it did. That was Kerbalism, deciding it was going to be mean to us. But I didn't have a lot of fuel left in that, and this is still fine, so... We'll deal. We still got a lot of fuel. Oopsie doodle. Oh, it is a wonky craft. I should maybe put some external reaction wheels on it. Some additional reaction wheels. Because it really wants to kind of skew over. Maybe if I reduce the throttle limiter too, it might have a better ability not to pull like that. Let's just cut the throttle. There's a lot of ignitions on that engine. That engine shouldn't be a problem. Okay, let's just... push this out. Cut. Sure. All right, so we lost a little bit there. That was a little bit exciting. I'm going to put this onto the north vector there. Just arrange it for some solar panel exposure and charge up those batteries. That should do it. Again, lots of science should be getting collected to here and transmitted. This science from around Earth will not be satisfied until it finishes a complete experiment. So that's going to take a while for this magnetometer report. But I'm hoping once we're flying by the moon that it'll do one of these temperatures or telemetries or something, and that'll happen real quick. Okay, we got to do ourselves a correction here. We still have 1,291 meters per second left, so I think we're going to be okay. Do a burn around here. Bring this down. Okay, there's our sort of a moon encounter. Yep. Oh, that's over here. Let's focus our view here. And let's see, bring this down, 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 down. Now what I should also look at is, look at that, whoops, PE. Let's move this. That's worse. Use the scale. Okay, that gets worse this way. You want to get it in the most efficient spot. I mean, just generally it's about halfway all the time, but never exactly halfway, so... Well, pretty close to halfway. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So where's my resulting... Oh no, that's giving me a real boost. So this is what I don't want to do. That is not what I want to do. What if I come around... Okay, we'll use some radial and we'll move it around a bit. I need more. I'm missing. There we go. There's a... I'd like to come in close and get some near space stuff. I might not be able to. Coming around the other side. Okay, let's... If I come around the other side, I would think that's worse. That is worse. Okay, so... Back the other way. Actually, it might be better. I'm wondering if instead of radial, sometimes it's better... I just turned on all my magnetic fields. Sometimes it's better to use the retrograde prograde to adjust. Yeah, that has more effect. Let's do that way. And then bring that down. Okay. That's a pretty happy looking orbit. Now, where am I? Let's bring back those. See, what I want is... something that's going to go through all of these magnetic fields. Wow, not much of a change makes a big change. I'm looking at this PE here. Let's focus this on Kerbin, if I can. Or Kerbin. Earth. There we go. I want this PE to dip down really close to the Earth. I want a really highly elliptical orbit. So I might not get that near... God, I keep sliding off. Okay, what's going on at the moon end? Just that way. Okay, what's this P look like? There we go. That's getting close. Is that in there? I think it's in there. So I want to go through, like if I turn this off, I want to make sure I get into this inner belt. So I want to cross the inner belt, which I think I'm doing. I want to cross the outer belt, which I'm doing. And I want to spend some time in the actual magnetopause and out of the magnetopause. Okay, I think that's good. Let's turn that off. That is a only 157 meter per second burn. And then what I'll do when I'm back down here at the PE is I will bring down my apoapsis so that I'm happy with that. So I'm not going to encounter the moon again. Okay, so F5, F5, F5. It's an 8-second burn. Yeah, let's do this. So say goodbye to the Earth. This is definitely going to be the... Oh, we got a radiation scan. So that finished off that contract there. Radiation scan from something. I actually missed what it was. Now we'll orient our probe. Now it orients itself fine. So it was just about losing. All right, and can we see the moon? We must be able to see the moon somewhere. One thing at a time. And there's no reason to let this get right down to 0 because this burn is not that time critical. So I'm just gonna give a little bit of throttle. By giving a little bit of throttle, I'm not inducing a ton of torque on this wacky, unbalanced thing. We'll just take our time. All right, got some. Oh, it was weird. The chat's being weird. It was from my end quiet for the longest time, and then all of a sudden we got a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, just wait. I'm coming off the maneuver node. I don't like that. Come back here. Finish this off. And then now all of a sudden a whole pile of stuff just popped up in the chat. Okay, what's this looking like? Okay. Looks pretty good, I think. And again, the main thing is it getting into that radiation belt? And it is. And are we encountering the moon? Which we are. Those are the two things I want. So we got a moon encounter coming up in 3 more days. And we'll be back to the moon, but I'm hoping next time I'll be a little better of a transfer. Well, you're very welcome, Justin. I'm glad my videos are helping you out. Sorry, I am trying to orient this probe and read the chat at the same time. And then you can see I'm not doing a very good job. I could have lowered my periapsis with a small retrograde burn. That is very true. And considering I still have over 1,000 meters per second, that probably would have been the better idea, is to come around the moon. Sorry, still orienting this. Come around the moon, get that near space, and then do a burn when you're close to the moon. There, that looks pretty good. Do a burn when you're close to the moon and lower the periapsis that way. I agree. That would have been the more efficient thing to do. It's just not what I did. Okay, I'm going to do a quick save. And now that I'm looking that I have over 1,100 meters per second left of delta V, that's I'm now thinking that's pretty foolish. Okay, I am just going to do the old warp to here thing to there. Looks like we got a pretty solid encounter. So 57 minutes. Now we should be seeing the moon. Seriously. It is coming at us from this way. There it is. Right up there. Okay. 5 again. Let's do a little time warping here. Time warp about an hour away. We cross over. I always like to watch the moon coming up. That's just me. Now, I don't know if these contracts require me to enter and then leave Moon's SOI. Still not there yet. Right? We're still... Yeah, still above the Earth. Should be any time, though. There we go. Oh, no storage space. Oh, I did not consider that at all. My hard drive is full. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, well, we got the flyby the moon. That was clearly just get into the moon's SOI. But this one, I think, requires me to... Oh, I got to return some science from the moon. Okay. I think I'm going to have to delete a lot of this data. This is going to be problematic. Yeah, I'm going to delete... Okay, let's get that magnetometer boom. Let's turn it off. I think that's the one that's creating a ton of data. And I'm going to delete some of this stuff so that it can do the other stuff. Ah, that's unfortunate. Should have had a bigger hard drive. We'll look at that when we're back into the VAB. Alright, because I want to make sure that I do transmit some science from around the moon, or else I won't get that one. So that cleared a lot of hard drive space. Now I'll turn the magnetometer report back on. And this is going back in orbit about Kerbin anyway, so that Kerbin magnetometer report science wasn't a big deal. Okay, let's make sure I'm not filling up that hard drive at a crazy rate. No, okay. Yeah, oh yeah, we got all kinds of moon high stuff coming now. Alright, so this all looks good, this all looks good. We're going to be exiting in a couple more days. So let's go do our moon flyby. This should all be high space. I don't think any of this is biome specific. No. Alright, feels like... There we go. There we go. So not getting too close to the moon. So all this stuff has been collected. Oh, our hard drives are full again. Let's... Jeepers creepers. Okay, let's leave the moon's SOI and we're going to turn that magnetometer off again. I just want to make sure I got this, return some science. As soon as we transmit that science, it should be good. It's just the magnetometer is clogging up the works. Okay, that's that. Okay, I'm going to take that magnetometer. We're going to turn it off. Come here. Off. I want to transmit some science. Gosh darn it. Okay, there. It's now transmitting that temperature. When that's transmitted, that should be this going green. And if it's not, I'm going to be annoyed. Okay. This is all stuff from around the moon. That magnetometer generates a ton of data. I gotta go back and check on that. Check on some of those stats. There we go. Now that's green. Okay, so there are the contracts. They are complete. I'll close this now. I'm just gonna transmit the rest of this stuff. And then we'll leave it to do whatever it's gonna do with the magnetometer. It's going to be starting and stopping all the time. Oh, I can get in the automation stuff. Nah, it'll take care of itself. Yeah, I will get into some of the... Let's just transmit all this away. And then I'll get into the automation. I'll make it so that the hard drive doesn't fill all the time. Ah. Yeah, somebody's using up all our bandwidth. Oh, who's responsible for the planning? Well, you don't have to point your fingers too far to know who that is. I always forget to check. That's the thing I forget all the time is checking data storage. Maybe I should put that on my checklist. Okay, that's that. So now what I'm going to do is get into the automation here a little bit. I'm going to look at that magnetometer. When the drive is full, I want to turn the magnetometer off. And off. And when the drive is empty, which is that there's more than 85%, then we can turn the magnetometer back on again. So right now the magnetometer should turn off. Let's go back to here. I think I might still have to turn it off for the first time. Yeah, magnetometer is now off. It'll get time now to transmit. When this gets up to 85%, it'll turn the magnetometer back on automatically. And that should take care of itself. But now what I want to do, it's just going to stay in this orbit. So what I want to do is just get to this periapsis here and just bring that apoapsis down. And let's take a look at our magnetic field. Oh, we can bring it down quite a lot. And I just wanted to not worry about encountering the moon anymore. So we'll just leave it in this orbit and it'll take care of the magnetometer on its own. Okay, goodbye moon. It was fun knowing you. Let's just F5 once again. We'll time warp down to that. But you can see here, when this gets to 85, it should start to go back down again. It didn't. Okay, why didn't that work? Magnetometer turned back on. I thought what? Did I do something wrong? When the drive is full, turn the magnetometer off. When the drive is empty, turn the magnetometer on. I don't know. Maybe because I was time warping. Device is back to here. Okay, it's back on again. Let's get back down there. Okay, so again, back to this. Oh, I read that. I got all the contracts. I did okay. I just didn't read close enough. I am so terrible, though, when it comes to reading contracts and reading all of it. I just go like, oh, fly by the moon. And then it'll say something like, oh, you need to have this device on there. And I'll miss that. Okay, coming around here on nice and close. So we got this 45-second burn. And then I'm going to leave it. It should take care of itself after this. Alright, but that's successful. That's a moon flyby. Did what I set out to do. Still got to get into near space around the moon. Oh boy. So here, let's give a little throttle here. There we go. All right, I'm happy with that. Back to here. Again, just do a little bit of orienting for the solar panels. Kerbalism apparently does pay attention to that even when the vessel isn't being rendered. So I do want to leave it in a state where it's getting decent solar panel exposure. Okay. Boy, maybe some reaction wheels on this isn't a bad idea. Here, I can even show you, like, I'm like full over pitch, full over yaw. It's not a... Oh my gosh. I'm not out of electricity by any... No, plenty of electricity. Here, it's coming back. I always like it so that it's either... Oh, I overdid it. Either full up, like straight vertical on the screen. Whether it's pointing up, whether it's pointing down, I don't care. I over-torqued that one. It's probably pretty close. Anyway, look at that. 30.6 science, and it's still going. It's got all of that magnetometer data that it's going to collect over the next several days. Persistent rotation is installed. Turn off the lock to retrograde. Oh, for gosh sakes. That explains everything. Oh, dear. I was like, why are you fighting me so much? Because I'm trying to go into retrograde like you're telling me to. Okay. There we go. Happy probe. Happy probe. Happy probe. Yeah, I think we can just leave that to do all it's going to do. Okay, let's get back to Space Center. So that'll just run in the background. That's one of the great things in Kerbalism. Well, if you're going to have an experiment that takes days to perform, you'd better have it run in the background. We can unlock some more science. Don't know what that is. It's in a funny spot. I think it's our launch clamp, so why it's there, I don't know. Science, 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 science. So I have... Oh, we should get rid of that. Well, whatever. Tuck that out of the way. 83.5 science. Oh my gosh. So I got SRBs here. We have... Oh, these are more plane parts. I'm going to just stay away from planes for a little bit. But let's think down here for more science. So we got... You know what? Let's think about Kerbals. I got so much. Where's our Kerbal capsules? Capsule Kerbals. Kerbal capsules, you know? Though, here we go. Basic re-entry capsule. The Onion. Let's work our way there. So what's this guy cost? That costs 20. That costs 30. So we'll get that one starting to research. That's 20 more. But I don't think I can start that until... Oh, I can start it. Okay, cool. So we'll get some basic re-entry capsules. Neat, neat, neat. Okay, we're thinking about Kerbals in space. These are these are improvements to the solar panels. That's something worth thinking about. I got to remember, this is not counted. Oh, it is. Okay, so I got 30 left, so I can do... Put this one, service modules. Yeah, that's probably useful. And SRBs. Let's go down here. Let's just throw that one in. And throw in SRBs. Alright. 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 Lots of science coming. Lots of science coming. So if we take a look at here. Take a look at our tech. Well, this is going to be unlocked in no time. Oh my gosh. Okay. Then what I want to do... Why is there an Octo 3 already being... Oh, it took me that long? Oh my gosh. I completely forgot about... Okay, I got to start using alarm clock to remind me that these rockets are being built. We spent so much time flapping about that rocket got built during all that time. All that time. Actually, I should look at contracts too. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to modify this. Maybe the ScanSat stuff. Let's do the ScanSat stuff. I'm going to take a quick look at contracts, though. Okay, I got to start using Kerbal Alarm Clock to remind me when crafts are being built and stuff like that. Because that... I don't know how long that's been just sitting there. Let's take a look again at satellites. Position a satellite, specific orbit of the Earth, Mars. Come on. Get real. So these will be probably pretty easy to do. I got the ScanSat. I grabbed these, didn't I? I did. Okay, so maybe that's where I should go. What is underneath Exploration Plus? We have Orbit the Moon. Okay. And we have... Start exploring the sun. Is that just orbit the sun? It is. So those are definitely doable. And under here we have send the first Kerbal into orbit. Do a moon landing. I'm assuming that's with a probe. Yep. And then a Venus flyby is on that list. Okay, okay. What's under collect science? Science data from space around the moon. And science data from the surface. Okay, so what I think I'll do, let's put our energy towards ScanSat. Oh, upgrade points. Thank you. Absolutely. Upgrade points. I always forget to upgrade points. So I got, every time you unlock a new node, you get upgrade points. So I think I might start a second vehicle bay. That might be the good plan. Yeah, let's put that on hold. Let's think ScanSat. Yes, okay. So Robin's saying, remember that ScanSat take quite a bit of power. I really do think I need to be better. Be better with me ScanSat. So what we're going to do, here's our Octo 3. What can we do with our ScanSat? So science equipments for the scan. So we have the multispectral analyzer or multispectral scanner. That's for scanning biomes. You can produce a biome mapping game. And we can see here its best orbit is 70 kilometers, but that's just silly, of course. So I just get it out of the atmosphere. And we also have the altimetry scanner, radar altimetry scanner. And its best altitude is also 70 kilometers, which of course is silly because that's just above the atmosphere. So we'll try and go maybe like 100-kilometer altitude. Okay, let's see. Let's rip off the science off of this. And can I just put both of these on here? Do you think that's going to work? How heavy are these? I'm going to have to maybe put a fairing around this. That is 75 kilograms. Oh, we should also look at doing some sort of stuff with this. Oh, gosh, science everywhere. Yeah, that's the same, 75 kilograms. So here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. Is doing just something silly, simple like this. Now, electricity, let's pay attention to that. Let's imagine we're in the shadow. Again, I think it's counting that bottom engine, which I don't like. So it's got an hour and 17 minutes. That should be fine. And then when we're in the sun, we're generating a ton of electricity. Now, how much data? That's how I screwed up before. Where is that on here? Maybe it doesn't really matter. ScanSat doesn't work super well with Kerbalism, so I might not have to worry about data. It might just work. Here's this one. Like, I don't think the science piece of this works with Kerbalism, but you get the map. That's all I care about. And there's contracts. Speaking of which, what do the contracts say? Just scan a certain percentage of the planet. Okay. So what I'm thinking, I think I have a fairing unlocked. Right here. There we go. The 0.625 meter fairing. So what I'm thinking, take this off. Get a decoupler. Flip it upside down, put it on there. Take the fairing. Where's my fairing? Flip that upside down, put that there. Turn on those interstage nodes. Oops. I think this is... Stop that. Stop. I don't want to build your fairing. Stop it. Where's it? Where's the stop making this stupid fairing? I don't care. There. Okay. Get you out of the way. I don't think this is right. I can't tell if it's Stuck to the... I think it's stuck to the battery below it. Like, you get those stupid double nodes things. It's... Okay, wait. No, I have to keep the inner stage nodes on. We'll get this to work yet. And it really wants to click on the wrong side of those nodes, doesn't it? Oh, it has to do with the way the fairing is? I don't know what it's doing. I don't want to be... See how there's a double node? There! That's what I want. Okay. And... now... if I make that the root part... and now go back to make this the root. I'm doing this way more complicated than I need to, I think, but that's what I want. Okay, so now I can put a nose cone on top of this, and I can build this fairing around all of this disgustingness. That was my whole idea of why I wanted to do this. Does not like it. Place a piece. Oh, it just doesn't go quite wide enough for those antennas. Okay, I'm gonna tuck this in a little bit. A little bit of clipifying here. I don't like clipifying. New plan, because the fairing's not big enough. Yeah, I already did look at the time in the dark there. So what I'm going to do... Here, got a new plan. Let's take this off. That's going to go... No. That off. Fairing off. Decoupler off. Might work better. What happened to my interstage nodes? Where are my interstage nodes? Let's get a whole fresh one. But I might have a better time building a fairing around it if it's on like this. Let's try and center that a little bit. Okay. Will the fairing go around this now? Yes. So maybe that's the better plan. Really doesn't want... It doesn't like sticking stuff. I was going to put just this scanner on there, but notice the interstage nodes isn't appearing for the scanner part. Have me a cubic octagonal strut. Can I fix this as everything? There we go. I think because that's a radial part or something. I don't know. We don't care. I'm going to get you all under this fairing one way or another. That's for sure. I can live with that. What does Kerbal Engineer say for torque problems? You can usually tell the balance that you have by just looking at your torque number there. See the torque there? It's 0.01 kilonewton meters. That's low enough. Let's throw that away. Let's throw that away. And now just build the fairing around this. It ain't going to be pretty, but I think it's going to work. Take the truss structure off now. Take the... What else do I want on this? Let's take the fairing out of the stage. Oh, wait. No, keep it on there for now. Clamshell deploy. That's what I was looking for. 3 sides. A lot of force. Wait. Okay, so anyway, yeah, people were talking about electricity should be good. This is actually only looking at partial solar exposure. Still 0.48. And it only consumes 0.05. Oh, wait a minute. Are both of those being counted in? No. Simulate in the scanner. Ha. There we go. No, I'm not producing nearly enough electric charge. There's my problem. Okay. So we're going to need more solar panels. More solar panels. So we will get these guys on here. I'm just going to keep it simple. Another row of these. Still not producing enough. Another row of these. Still not producing enough. Another row of these. Maybe I should do this with 2 separate satellites. Now it is producing enough, but not by much. So I'm thinking probably another row below here. You know what? While I'm doing this, honestly, I might just want to... And if I put it in the dark, it will only last for 2 minutes, so I need a lot more batteries. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. I think I'm going to be losing some of these fuel tanks. I mean, this is the rocket that went to the moon. It doesn't need as much as what you're seeing here, that's for sure. That there. Okay, now it only will last for 5. I think I'm going to do this with 2 separate probes. That's what I'm going to do. I think the electrical consumption is just obscene. So we're going to do this with 2 separate ones. That's what we're going to do. That's better. Still just 10 minutes. Wow. Do all this off. That's coming off. That's coming off. That's coming off. Why won't you go there, you stinker bum? There we go. I don't think I need this much anyway. It'll only last 10 minutes in the dark. It needs more than that, so let's get some of these fellas. Now it's lasting for 14 minutes in the dark. What's it? Orbital period, low orbit about Kerbin? Something like... Oh my gosh. Where's my head? Isn't it something like 35 minutes or something like that? Okay. And... now it'll last for... almost 20 minutes. Let's put some more on here. Okay, it'll last for 24 minutes in the dark. But now I'm sure it's not generating enough electricity. Nope. So we got to put on more solar panels. That should do it. That should do it. Yoich. Now, where's that antenna? Kind of buried it in here. I don't think I need the big one, so we can take that off. Wow. Should maybe put it up here. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. These back. Alright. What do people think? Okay. Yeah, I was checking the dark time part. Oh, check the habitat for dark time. Where I don't know where you look at where the dark time is. Like how much actual time you spend in the dark. I'm not 100% sure. I think 24 minutes should be good. I got a spreadsheet somewhere where I could work it out, but shoot. Get back there. Okay. Just wanna get these solar panels looking a little better. Thrust to weight is perfectly acceptable. Put this on here. What this? Oh, the thrust limiter was turned down. That's why it's like that. Okay. Let's fix up some of this stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Why is there a stray? Where's that? Don't know. That is a homely thing. It sure is. Okay, let's see what happens. Habitat key on the Kerbalism stats. Oh, it's down here. Okay. So there's an environment. Shadow time here is 15 minutes and 39 seconds in moon low orbit. Let's, oops, change that to Earth. I'm going through too many planets. Oh my gosh. We have way too many planets in our solar system. Shadow time's only 12 minutes according to this, so I think we should be good. I'm gonna... Oh wait, there's our decoupler. There's a stray decoupler right here. See it? Throw you away. I don't think you were attached to anything. Okay, let's get into our action groups here. I'm going to put that fairing on... Take it out of the staging, but I want it on action group 5. Deploy. Okay, and oh, that antenna. So we'll do a little test launch. I'm hoping that... toggle the antenna. This will all go okay. I'm honestly considering... Oh, part count. Oh, for freak's sakes. Okay, I think I need to upgrade the VAB. Okay, this is MapSat 1. I'm not throwing you away now. I'm going to save you just separately. But yeah, part count's a problem. And I don't really have a way around. Now, I got tech coming too, but maybe what I should be doing... I got tech coming to improve the batteries. That might help a lot. But... But. Okay, let's see. What does it cost to upgrade you? Oh my gosh, I can upgrade this. Let's upgrade this. Now, that's going to take some time. Vehicle assembly building is going to take almost 16 days. Okay, so what I think I shall do in the meantime. Is just do some satellite insertion things. I think I want, yeah, I gotta wait for the upgrading on the vehicle assembly building. Also, we got some text that's going to unlock here that's going to get us some better batteries. So what I think I shall do is just shift gears a little bit, not do the ScanSat just yet, but instead go here. Oh, I threw away a necessary decoupler. Okay, one thing at a time. Let's do some low-lying fruit type of missions here. We got some position satellites in orbits of Earth. Let's just do both these two. Just to get a couple of rockets flying in the meantime. So we're going to just grab that and grab that. And we're going to go into here. I'm going to vehicle assembly building. I'm going to rename this guy Actually, we're going to edit it, and we're going to look at its science. I'm not convinced there's a lot of science to do. Maybe put the magnetometer on it, and that's it. Just to let people know, there are no more series. Anyone who requests me, can you do a series on this? I am busy doing what I'm doing. So there's no more series coming. I will always keep things in mind, but if you're asking me, can you do a series doing this, and this, the answer is going to be not anytime soon. Okay, let's take a look at, we got magnetometer report, radiation scan. Is it done around Earth? It is. So let's throw that off. And telemetry report, temperature scan is done. And get into here, configure the experiment. Okay, I don't think I got anything else worth doing other than the magnetometer report. So what I think I shall do... Oh, we could also... Yes, we got goo and materials-based stuff. Okay, yeah. Let's save this and save the edits. All right, so we got this Octo 3. And I'm going to go into plans and we'll build another Octo 3. These are for, so this is actually going to be renamed the Octo 4. And this one's going to be renamed the Octo 5. And those are for those inserting satellite missions. That's it. Let's just do those. The other thing I could be doing is building, here we go, and launch. The other thing I could be doing is building something with a goo and a material study that I can bring back down to the surface of Kerbin. That's not a bad idea either for some science. For science! All right, so the idea with this one is, if I go to contracts, let's just grab, both of these look more or less the same. So getting into a specific orbit, oh, I didn't even look, I do not need any special equipment. That's good, because I didn't look. So it's going to be getting into this orbit with an inclination of, oh my golly, 0, and turn off all this. I guess that is this one here. Yes, so this pink one. There's no way to get into an... Yeah, so I'm just going to launch. There's no way to get into an equatorial orbit. We're going to have to make a plane change, but got lots of delta V. So let's just launch. Let's do it. So T and Z and go. There we go. I did start the upgrade on the VAB. That is going. I can show people. Best, at least I sure as heck better have. Well, maybe I should fly my rocket before I really start thinking about showing people. Okay. Half the reason I'm showing people is because I'm not convinced myself I actually did it. But I did. There. Vehicle assembly building. Going to take 15.5 days. It's being done. It's being done. Okay. So the goal of this one is simply inserting into here. Well, thank you, Swimming Cat. It is very much appreciated. I always like, you know, well, everybody likes hearing that people like your stuff, but... You know, I had this whole plan on with Kerbal Space Program 2 to do a whole batch of new tutorials that I sort of got started in, got about half a dozen episodes into it, and KSP 2 is still rather brutal. It's not that pleasant of a game. And so I sort of put that on hold. Who knows? Maybe with the next update and some more KSP 2 tutorials will come. We'll have to see, but for me it's got to still run better. I do not want to build rockets only to have them blow up mysteriously on a semi-regular basis. Okay. Yeah, this guy can do a moon flyby, so that's kind of good. Something weird about the air this way. It just feels like the atmosphere is going way up high. Oh, maybe it's just me. Alright, so just about our apogee is just about out of the atmosphere. And then we'll muscle it into that required orbit. Pretty good. Time warp up. We can just get our antenna. And this thing will collect more magnetom. Oh shoot! Pay attention, dude. We're almost almost at apogee here. Almost at apogee. Yeah, I'm not using this motor very well because it has, oh no, 3 ignitions. Okay, so maybe I just got really unlucky when it blew up before. Yeah, I do like the plumes. The plumes are coming from the waterfall mod, for those people that don't know. Oh, it failed again. That motor is super unreliable. Oh well, at least that one won't be debris, because my periapsis was still negative. That engine just decided I'm going to turn off. I think... Oh no! So you can see the yellow glow on this engine. So that is saying that that this is a repairable fix, but you got to get a Kerbal to fix it. So, oh my gosh. We need some engine upgrades. Yeah, so this is pooched. This is pooched. Periapsis is 19 kilometers, so we all know what the end of this one's going to be. That's okay, we got another one. Yeah, it is just trying to simulate, you know, you got early engines and they fail a lot. Like if you look at the early part of the space program, or for goodness sakes, just watch SpaceX, which is pushing the envelope all the time, and how often they fail. Like that's part of the package. That's okay. We'll watch it die. I'm not convinced it'll blow up, though. I got me a feeling it's going to make it to the ground. Okay, here comes our fireball. Contracts isn't really worthwhile looking at anymore. Yeah, I got an ICBM. Where are we coming down? Which country are we going? Oh, we're in the ocean. We're in the Indian Ocean. We're okay. No, I don't think anything's going to blow up on us. Coming over southern Africa here. Madagascar right there. We're going to be in the water. Oh, you think it's scrap? Oh, someone's talking. Dave is talking about the scrapyard mod. I never use the scrapyard mod. Maybe I do. I don't know if I have it installed or not. But I never could get the idea of scrapyard is that you're recovering parts and then you're reusing them, but you know, as you reuse them, they become less reliable. But I just found it just not worth the time to figure it out. And I honestly don't know if maybe I do have it installed. I can't remember. Yeah. I don't think I'd have to check. I shouldn't guess anymore whether I have it installed or not. So here we go. Into we're feeding the fishies. There we are. Okay. Back to the Space Center we go. It's on the list? Okay, thank you. So if it's on the list, it's obviously there. I should probably take it off then. It probably came packaged with something else and I didn't even notice I was installing it. But that's probably a good idea to get rid of Scrapyard. I can upgrade engines. I'm just choosing not to. Alright, so that is that. Let's get back into vehicle assembly building, the Octo 5. I edited it because I think it's actually in the exact same state as the previous one. With all the science still on it that isn't necessary. All right. Yeah, see, it doesn't need this. And it doesn't need the temperature scan or the telemetry report. There we go. Okay, so we're back to here again. So reconditioning the launch pad. Oh, we got some science coming up. Service modules, and then on the tech front, well, we're still waiting on Okay, so let's try this new Octo 5. So this is the Octo 5. The Octo 4 was a fail. Try again. Trying again. I want to get that ScanSat satellite up. That's kind of like, well, let's see what this one does. But I will definitely take a look at that scrapyard, and it's something I just don't really use. Octo 5. There we are. That's the kind of thing we're talking about, aren't we? Now, if it's really getting... I think you can. Like, if I just said revert flight... I'm pretty sure... I mean, there is an RNG, you know, like a random thing that's going on there. And I'm pretty sure if you reset the flight, you can just try again if you want to work your way around it. But I agree, they are happening a little bit too often, aren't they? Let's try this one. Okay, maybe I lied. All right, I guess I'm recovering you. Just normal recovery. I don't care. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're wasting a lot of curb bucks on this. But I think there's something not right. It is Kerbalism, but I think, I don't know. Let's see if we can get into some settings here. So, no, I don't know if any... What's this one? That's Patch Manager, whatever that is. That hurts my head. I don't know if there's any kind of scrapyard type of settings we can get into. I don't want to spend too much time with this. You can get into Kerbalism. There is a settings in here for the failure rates. That's just what, no, that's something different. Engine ignition failure chance. See, it can't be 75%. That's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't like getting it because lots of times I played and never touched these at all. And I'm not 100% sure what the numbers mean, so that's what sort of bugs me. Because clearly the failure chance is not 25%. That's every time you launch an engine. It should, well, maybe it is. I don't know. But that's ridiculous. All right, let's see what happens. I don't know. I got to build another one, though. Let's edit this. I don't know what this looks like. Yeah. Yeah, I think uninstalling Scrapyard, but I don't think I deliberately installed Scrapyard. I'm pretty sure it came packaged with something else. I did not recover to the VAB. I said, screw it. Let's see. What do we got here? Okay, so there's not a lot of science. There's no science on this. Well, there is the telemetry and the too hot thermometer, so we can take that away. We can try putting on the magnetometer again. One day this has to work, right? I mean, I can get into... There is a reliability toggle here somewhere. Engine... Maybe I should just turn those to high. It shouldn't make that much of a difference. Like, it shouldn't be failing as much as it... But I'm going to try putting these to high. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Save those edits. Let's see what happens. Scrapyard comes with KCT. Okay. Oh, it does not affect the failure rates. Oh, I don't know. I guess maybe it's just... It's weird. I've not figured out the failure rate issues because sometimes it seems fine and then sometimes it's a ginormous pain. And I've never been able to work out exactly why sometimes it's a pain and why sometimes it's not. Let's rename this one the number 6. Octo 6 we're on now. Roll it out. Go to sunrise. I don't like doing it at night. I know the upgrades makes it heavier and more expensive, which means it knocks back on your Delta V, and you obviously spend more money. I'm doing fine as far as money goes. Like, I'm seeing how much money I have. So, money's not tight. Okay, so, again, we're just going to do this, that on. See what happens. All right, step 1. Step 1. We're off. If You want to test off stream set Kerbalism failures to off? Yeah, I could just turn off the Kerbalism failures. That might be the next. I don't mind the failures. In fact, I kind of like them. It's one of the things I do like in Kerbalism. Yes, I can turn them off, but I do actually like them. Just not like all the time, you know? And I think there was something that was not quite right. So maybe I'll just keep playing around with those percentages. I don't know. Okay, we do have, again, a contract here. Reaching this designated orbit. But what was that? That was like 3 failures in a row, I think, what was happening there. That's getting a little much. Okay, I'm going to reduce throttle again. Alright, so once again, we are going for a specific orbit. It's not that high, at very low inclination, but because we are launching from Cape Canaveral, Florida, getting into a equatorial orbit actually is more work than getting into a more inclined orbit. Yeah, I don't have O-Scrap. At least I sure hope. I gotta go over my mod list again. Maybe that little adjustment's all it needed. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, again, cruising along here until our apogee gets up. I like saying the word apogee rather than apoapsis, but apogee gets up around 80 kilometers. Got to get at least one of these into orbit, right? I'm staying away from procedural parts. I do like it. I mean, I use it with the RP1 series, but I'm trying to stay away from a lot of part mods. I'm trying to keep the parts stockish. And that's just a deliberate choice I'm making. I find it's really easy to upset the balance of the game if you, especially if you play with a stock scale. It's really easy to upset the balance of the game by installing too many parts, like things like procedural parts, or tweak scale's another one. It's just a little bit too easy, I find. I like staying with the stock parts, even though I am sort of, you know, these are my Mark 1 liquid fuel fuselages with oxidizer in them, so I am being a little bit hypocritical, I suppose. Okay, we are trying this again. One more try, as they say. Okay, a little bit of throttle. Shouldn't take too much. I'm just going to make it, we're in an orbit, but I just want to make it a little closer to a circle. All right, that's looking pretty good. Okay, so we are now, let's turn off all of this noise. So we are in this inclined orbit. We got to get to this blue orbit here. So the plan is going to be defining that. Yep. Probably, yeah, we're coming around this way. So let's make a burn right underneath that ascending node where we're crossing. Oh, what did I just do there? Don't go away with alarm. Why is... I think I just hit something. Push that up. And then when we're up here, and I want this apoapsis. I did this once before. Last stream I did this. I want the apoapsis right on the descending node. Move that scale up a bit. And then we'll make our plane change up there. The combine burn to combine the plane change along with... along with getting the matching the orbit. Okay, maybe a little... I need to be... I think I'm being too picky. It just doesn't matter. Come on, Mike. It doesn't matter. There we go. Good enough. Okay, so we're going to make that burn. Should have plenty of fuel. Okay, we're going to make this, turn this throttle limiter down so it's not like a ridiculous 3 TWR right there. Okay. Let's F5. Let's time warp to the burn. Go away. I think I made that alarm by mistake. Where's everything's so dark. Okay. Get it on that maneuver node. There's not a lot of maneuverability in this thing, and when we still have this on there. Change the view to free. You can barely see the planet. I know everything's in dark. I don't know if I can amp this up a little bit. That's better. Start again the burn a little bit early because it's going to take a little longer than 43 seconds because of me turning down this throttle on this guy. Okay, so let's punch that. Whoa, wants to go that way. Again, that magnetometer. Maybe I should just put the magnetometer on top. It really wants to skew to one side. Oh, you know what I could do? If I just move this engine over just a little bit to balance that the torque out, that's all I got to do is just make the engine a little off center, and I wouldn't have this issue. Oh, I'm still locked to prograde too. That doesn't help. Oh my gosh. What a rocket. Let's see what kind of mess I made of this. So I locked the prograde all that time, and I was trying to fight it onto the maneuver node. I think I did that already once today. Okay, there we go. We're on our way. And we will do a maneuver right about here. And this is going to take quite a bit of normal and quite a bit of prograde. Tell I need to bring it down. And the other thing I can see, do I have? Yes, once again, I do have an argument of the periapsis, so that means this periapsis does need to match that periapsis, and that'll also mean the two apoapses are going to meet. And again, that's done with the radial parts. Actually, when I look at it from here, it's really obvious which radial component to do. You can see you need to take this trajectory and push it outwards, right? So that means it's the radially out you got to do. See how that's moving the apoapsis in the right direction, moving the periapsis in the right direction. Jeepers, that's pretty close right there. And inclination's a little bit off, but oh my gosh, it ain't bad, is it? A little bit more on here. A little bit less energy in the orbit. That's going to be close enough. All right, and that's a 700. Okay, that's going to be fine. F5 that. Let's orient this for solar panel purposes. How about taking it off a lock to prograde? Ah, see, I remember that kind of stuff eventually. The other thing I also can do is turn on that go away alarm clock. Wow, that alarm clock wants to be there. This isn't this alarm clock. It's the stock alarm clock, right? Go away. There we go. I can turn on the magnetometer. Boop. So we got another probe collecting magnetometer science. You know, let's retract that actually. I don't know if it models that the center of mass is changed by extending that, but it sure looks like it would have changed. So that's kind of bugging me. So I'm going to disable that or bring that back. And I'm going to start to burn a little early, but not go to full throttle. Start around here. Again, it just has to do with this whole wanting it. That's something. Next time when I'm in the VAB, if I'm doing something similar to this, if I move this engine just a little bit to one side, I can balance off the offset center of mass. And that would make actually quite a bit of difference. It wouldn't be all wonky like this. But that's okay. We can take our time. All right, and not so much the maneuver I got to look at. I just got to look at these parameters. If they go green, I can cut my throttle. They should go green pretty soon. I'm chasing around that maneuver node now. There they go. All done. And we wait the obligatory 10 seconds. At some point. There we go. Okay, and we'll just again orient this for solar panel purposes. Now I will extend the magnetometer again. Am I out of electricity by any chance? No. Am I time warping? For some reason I'm having trouble moving. Here, I'll show you. I'm like pitched right over and it's not moving. It's behaving very strangely. Reaction wheels are taking radiation damage. I don't know if that has to do with anything. Oh well. I'm just going to leave it. I don't care. I'm just going to leave it. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. I'm having trouble adjusting it. It does say here that we're probably living right in a radiation belt, aren't we? And that does... I can push button. There we go. That's the button I was looking for. There There. Yeah, we're kind of cruising in this radiation belt. So it's going to take some damage because of the radiation, and that's why it says here, taking radiation damage. But I think the experiment, it is running, so I think I'm just going to let it transmit whatever it can. I can't reorient the vessel for some strange reason, but I think it's getting enough solar panels exposure as it is. So I think I'm just going to leave it and call it. And I'm actually looking at the time of the stream, and I think I'm going to call the stream as well. I'm hoping we won't get as many engine failures come next week, but I'm hoping for big things next week, because don't forget, I did sort of get some tech for putting a Kerbal into orbit. So hopefully that will be coming up soon. I want some ScanSat satellites that I got ready to go up. We'll be going back to the moon. Lots of other things to do, but that's all going to have to be starting next week. So in the meantime, I want to thank everybody in the chat. I want to thank everybody who's watching this at a later date. And of course, an extra special thank you to all of my Patreon patrons and YouTube members who continue to support this channel. Have yourselves a fantastic week, and we'll see you all next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.